Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us to learn about retail food establishment requirements for equipment and certified food protection manager requirements. This is part two of a four-part series to help meat establishment operators understand the requirements for operating a retail food establishment. At the end of this presentation, I will introduce the other presentation topics in this series. My name is James Kaplanik. I am the section manager for Retail Food and Recreational Program section for the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. I am also joined by Mark Jenko and Mike Otzelberger, who are also retail technical specialists for the Retail Food Program. During this presentation, we will cover the following objectives. What are the requirements for a certified food protection manager in a retail food establishment? And what are some of the basic equipment requirements for a retail food establishment operation? I will now turn this over to Mike, who will discuss the requirements for a certified food protection manager.
Okay, this section is Certified Food Protection Manager, or CFPM. And what is a Certified Food Protection Manager? A Certified Food Protection Manager means an individual who operates a retail food establishment or is a manager of a retail food establishment who has successfully passed an exam from an accredited program or a department-approved course. Food Protection Manager certification is required for an individual who operates a retail food establishment or at least one manager of a retail food establishment. The certificate shall state that the individual or manager has passed an exam from an accredited program on food protection practices. Accredited program means a food protection manager certification program that has been evaluated and listed by an accrediting agency as conforming to national standards for organizations that must certify individuals. Accredited program refers to the certification process and is a designation based upon an independent evaluation of factors such as the sponsor's mission, organizational structure, staff resources, revenue sources, policies, public information regarding program scope, eligibility requirements, recertification, discipline and grievance procedures, and test development and administration. On the bottom of the page is the link to accepted courses. A retail food establishment serving meals with prepackaged foods are exempt. A retail food establishment not serving meals that sells only packaged foods or fresh fruit and vegetables, and, except for a transient event, any processing of food requires a certified food protection manager. The expiration date for a certified food protection manager certificate shall expire 5 years after the date of issue. The posting of a certification. A retail food establishment shall post the certificate in a conspicuous place on the premises of the retail food establishment. Conditions for recertification for small operators. A food safety for small operators credential may be obtained under the following conditions. You operate or manage a retail food establishment employing 5 or fewer food handlers, has previously completed, passed, and received their initial food manager certification. The current certification or credential has not expired more than 90 days and must have initial certificate on file, and has successfully completed a recertification training course approved by the department. Now I'll turn this over to Mark Jenko to talk about equipment requirements.
This section covers equipment. Food equipment used within a retail setting must meet establishment sanitation requirements for the material, design, fabrication, construction, and performance. These include but are not limited to ovens, smokers, ROP equipment, refrigeration equipment, processing equipment such as grinders, slicers, mixers, and sinks. Ovens. Ovens come in many types. Commercial units are readily available for cooking meat products and related food products. Smokers. There are various smokers to include large commercial units with internal temperature monitoring system and data loggers, cooling showers to aid in the cooling process. Some units may or may not contain these special monitoring or cooling systems in which manual temperatures and recording of critical limits need to be taken. ROP equipment needs to be ANSI certified or approved by the Equipment Committee for use within retail facilities. These include chamber-style units such as VacMaster units, other food saver units such as those that are not chamber-style units and are for residential or home-style use only may not be used within facilities. Refrigeration units must also be certified for food storage and products relating to their ratings indicated on their data, plates, or their specification manuals. There are many types of refrigeration units. Processing equipment such as slicers, grinders, mixers need to be ANSI approved in which to withstand constant use as of design, construction, and use. Parts need to be easily taken apart to be cleaned and sanitized to prevent contamination and sanitized every 4 hours as of their use. Hand washing sinks shall be located to allow convenient use by employees in food preparation, food dispensing, and warewashing areas. These sinks need to be readily available, non-hand operated, and supplied with soap, paper toweling, or drying provisions, and signage. Food preparation sinks are also required for food preparation in which to prevent further contamination of other sinks. Food may be washed, thawed, or cooled within these sinks. At least one service sink or a curb cleaning facility with a floor drain shall be provided and conveniently located for the cleaning of mops or similar wet floor cleaning tools and for the disposal of mop water and similar liquid waste. Warewashing sinks. Many types of warewashing sinks may be used based on the facility and their operations being conducted. A 3-compartment sink is recommended for continual warewashing operations. An approval may be given for a 2-compartment sink for batch washing if approved for use with a detergent sanitizer. Also, a commercial dishwasher may also be used with a pre-wash sink if also provided. I will now turn this over to Jim Kaplanik, and he will talk to you about resources which are available to you.
Thanks, Mark. In the following slides, we will discuss the available resources that you can access. To download a copy of the rules, you can enter the following web addresses into your browser. For a copy of ATCP 75 in the appendix, the Wisconsin Food Code, for retail food establishments, simply copy the web address into your browser. For a copy of ATCP 55, the administrative rule for meat establishments, enter the web address under ATCP 55 into your browser. The Retail Food Program also has created mini fact sheets that can be accessed using the web address under DATCAP website fact sheet. Feel free to pause the webinar so that you can accurately copy the following web addresses. If you have specific technical questions regarding your meat establishment or retail food establishment operation, feel free to email the meat or retail technical mailbox addresses above. The retail technical mailbox is at DATCAP, DFRS Retail at wisconsin.gov. You can see the meat technical mailbox is at DATCAP Meat Poultry Licensing at wisconsin.gov. And also, if you have specific licensing questions regarding your operation, feel free to email and reach out to our licensing technical mailbox, and they will assist you with any licensing questions that you have. Please don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. We are here to act as a resource for you. Again, please write down the following link above and put into your browser to access the other trainings in this series. Other presentations include what to expect from a retail food establishment inspection, retail food establishments, date marking, variances, and HACCP plan requirements, retail food licensing requirements in a meat establishment. I want to thank you for joining us today, and I hope we have increased your understanding regarding equipment and certified food protection manager requirements in a retail food establishment. Have a nice day.